everybody, I hope your day's going well. Today I wanted to talk about one of my favorite aspects of makeup, and that is those sort of underrated products. And in this case, some brands as a whole that I think are kind of underrated, or maybe in some cases it's brands that haven't always been so great, but they're kind of on the rise, and I think they're brands to watch out for. Now, I remember way back when I started doing YouTube at first, and I remembered there not being a ton of content out there about drugstore products. Yes, there was a time when that was the case, and so I saw that as kind of a void that I wanted to fill, and I love that to this day. And even now, after all these years and, you know, millions of other YouTubers, I still think there are some drugstore brands out there that are somewhat under the radar. So I just thought I would highlight some of those brands in this video and mention some of the reasons why I think they're underrated. It's not like I'm obsessed with every product from all of these lines. I feel like every brand has hits and misses, but these are some lines where I really think they've got some good things going for them and some things worth checking out. First brand I want to mention is Marc, and that is a brand under, you know, Avon's umbrella, and I really don't hear a lot about this line. I know, at least I think it was a couple years back, I did a video mentioning a lot of different Marc products and reviewing them, and they really do have some great quality things. It's not a brand you're going to, you know, run right into your drugstore and get. You can buy them online through Avon's website, but they do have some great products, including some new products that I am really enjoying, including the lip product I'm wearing today. I love this soft red, super shiny product, and it actually leaves kind of a subtle stain behind, and it's called the Gloss Gorgeous Stay On Lip Stain, and this shade is called Lolli, and I have several of the other shades in this, and I think they're really great. They have like that brush tip applicator, so you can really get precise as you put them on, but they're kind of like a thick gloss. I mean, they feel pretty heavy duty when you put them on. Not thick from a sticky perspective, but like actually kind of nourishing to the lips, so I really like that. Also, they've got these lip butters. The packaging is gorgeous. It's pink with this silvery writing on them, and they're called All Butter Now, and this one's called Pop Tart. It's this beautiful bright magenta pink with a great scent. It reminds me of Nerds, like you just opened a box of Nerds and gave it a whiff. It's like very intensely fruity, but this is a super duper pigmented color you can see here in this swatch, so I would like to try more of those. Another cool thing from this line are the Touch and Glow compacts, and I had one before that was more like all bronzy, and as you can see, this one has some bronze and also some pink tones, and you might look at that and think, well, what is that? Is that a bronzer? Is it a blush? Is it a highlight? And frankly, I think it's whatever you want it to be. I think this wears really nicely as just an all-over glowy product. Like I've got it, you know, on my cheeks. I think you can focus in on different areas and get a little different kind of look, but what's cool is these actually squish down. It almost reminds me slightly of the ColourPop products in that at a light touch it feels a little bit powdery, but then you press down and you're like, nope, that's definitely a cream in there. Another underrated drugstore makeup brand that I want to talk about is Hard Candy, and I do think there are maybe some products from this line that have gotten a little bit hyped up, but on the whole, I don't hear a ton about them. This line does have so many products. I think I've run into a lot of both hits and misses, but the things that I like, I really like from Hard Candy. And some of these are products that I haven't heard mentioned a lot on YouTube. For example, this palette here, this matte eyeshadow palette, it's the Top 10 Trendsetters eyeshadow collection, and the shade is Birthday Suit. And I think I remember talking about this in a haul like just before Belle was born. I did a Hard Candy haul, and this is a really nice quality matte palette. I am wearing that on my eyes today. Love the way they blend. They're nicely pigmented. I know for a long time I've talked about kind of a shortage of matte palettes from the drugstore, but this one is really worth looking into. For a long time I've enjoyed their baked products. The baked bronzer slash highlight in Tiki is great. They've got some nice baked blushes as well. The Glamoflauge foundation, a newer product that I think gives really surprisingly good coverage, but it's kind of thin and lightweight, really glides across the skin so smoothly and evenly, so I've been super impressed by that. Oh my gosh, almost forgot the Fierce Effects eyeshadows. These are sold in duos, and they're like dupes for the Infallible shadows from L'Oreal. Those sell for, I think, like around $8 a piece in most drugstores where I'm at. Here in the little 2-packs, you get a couple of them for, I think, around $5 or $6. So it's a really great deal. They're very, you know, creamy, smooth, pigmented, exact same packaging style. This is the duo in Lost and Found. It's a pink and a purple, and then I also have one that I really like that's kind of of an olive green and a gold. That's probably my favorite one. And lastly, gotta mention from Hard Candy, the Plumping Serum Lipsticks. These are so good. I do have a full review on these, and I will link below to any like all-out reviews I have on any of the products I'm mentioning. But these lipsticks are so creamy, they're soft, they're hydrating. Now they don't do a lot of plumping. That's kind of the weird thing. They don't do the plumping on me. I don't really see that, but they do smooth out the lips beautifully. They have a great, just kind of creamy, smooth, soft finish. This shade called Idolized is like my newest lipstick obsession. I was wearing this in a recent video. It's like a very cool, like pinky, almost a little bit of lilac in it type of shade, and I think it's gorgeous. Another brand that I consider to be pretty underrated, and it's kind of odd that it is because it's one of the major lines that shows up in pretty much every drugstore you go to, and it's Almay. And I'm not just saying that because Carrie Underwood's their spokesperson and I have kind of a Carrie Underwood obsession. That doesn't have any bearing on my decision to include this line, and I have tried some major dud products from Almay over the years, but the things that I like from this brand, I really, really like. They've got two of, in my opinion, the best drugstore mascaras in their line in the Get Up and Grow formula. That's really great. It's a great, really super thick and full brush. I also love the One Coat Nourishing Triple Effect. It's one of the driest formula mascaras that works really well if you've got sparse lashes. It seems to really grab each and every one. Also, if you've watched my videos for a while, you may have remembered me talking about this Smart Shade blush. This is the shade called Coral, a beautiful peachy blush. If you're a peachy blush lover, I'm wearing that today. Like I said, I've got that MARC product that's giving me the glow on top of it. But it's a gorgeous peach blush. I've been meaning to try the pink one in this line, but this one I definitely love. And Almay is one of those brands that hasn't rolled out a ton of different lip products, but the things that they do have, I think they've done rather well. I have a specific review on the Express channel on these new Butter Kiss lipsticks. These probably rival the Revlon lip butters. I think I like them as much, if not more, in terms of the way these feel on the lips. There's a little added thickness. They feel like a little more hydrating product. The ones I happen to be holding right now, I've got Nude Light, which actually has a little more color to it than you might expect, a little bit of a rosy tone there. Berry Medium. These are all divided up into like light, light medium, medium skin tone families, and then Berry Light as well. That's a gorgeous pink. The liquid lip balms are nice. I really only like the more vivid shades though, like this one. This is called Apple a Day. I think these are a good product for those who like shine on their lips but hate the feel of a standard lip gloss. These are really comfortable. Now, I mentioned at the start, you know, there are brands I think that kind of reinvent themselves, and maybe it's a brand that you thought they're not really worth trying, they're too cheap, they're too whatever in their earlier days, and I think they've made a lot of improvements, and the line I'm talking about specifically in that way is NYC, New York Color. They have really come a long way in their eyeshadows, their lip products, certain face products. I think they've always had some pretty impressive bronzers. NYC Sunny Bronzer is great. The Color Wheel Bronzer, which is what I'm wearing today, is a contour slash bronzer. This is awesome. They do not have a great color selection in terms of their face products, but I do love the Smooth Skin BB Radiance Powder. I have it in the shade Naturally Beige. If that works for you, if you've tried this and this is a color match, this is a beautifully textured and crazy cheap face powder. It really has like a creaminess to it. I'm very impressed with that. The eyeshadows from this line, at one point in time, I remember tossing these out thinking they are unusable, and I don't think that about a lot of products, but they have gotten so much better over time. The individualized compacts, like there was a time when these creams, when these first came out, these creams that they put in here were so dry, they literally just fell out of the pan. Like, I don't know what happened. And the shadows were so chalky. Now they're a lot better, and this is the Midtown Mauve set that I think you would like if you like the rosy burgundy looks. Anytime I'm wearing this Bronzed in Brooklyn trio in a video, I get a ton of questions about it. It's got brown, a beautiful bronze, and a nice creamy shade. And I have loved also this City Proof eye base. This is like a solid version of an eye primer, and I have been using this all the time. Like, I reviewed it already on the Express channel, but I love using this because I think it's so quick and easy for a quick base. But I was in some crazy hot humidity this past weekend for an outdoor graduation, and I used this and my eyeshadow did not go anywhere. For lip products, a couple things you might want to check out are the Expert Last lipsticks. These are really pigmented. Try to get a close look at the finish because some of them are straight up creamy and they're just glorious. I think there are others that have some shimmer. I'm not a big frosty lipstick person myself, but but if you are, you might like those. But this shade, for example, is called Air Kiss, and it's a beautiful hot pink. And my fifth and final underrated drugstore makeup brand that I'm going to mention in this video is Up and Up for the brushes from Target. That is basically a store brand line, and these brushes are so great. I mean, they're quickly becoming one of my favorite brands for brushes, and they're so inexpensive, and I just love the accessibility. There's something to be said for being able to just waltz into a Target store and find some great brushes. I've talked about this buffing foundation brush. It's awesome. It's seriously so great for blending out liquid foundations. Their blush brush, my current favorite blush brush, just really pats on just the right amount of color. Love the shape, love the cut, and these are so crazy soft as well. They've got a nice little concealer brush duo here. They're great for patting in product around the eyes, small areas around the nose. And more recently, I decided to try out their eye brush duo because I realized everything that I tried from this line has been a face brush, but I love these eye brushes as well. And that brand, it's definitely not underrated in terms of what's coming from my channel because I talk about those brushes all the time. But I think they're kind of at the tip of the iceberg in terms of getting recognized and noticed by the masses, but I think those are really great brushes. So those are, in my opinion, 5 of the best underrated drugstore makeup brands and just some of the products that I would recommend from each line. And as I was thinking about doing this video, I thought, you know, drugstore brands have really grown over time in terms of getting talked about a lot on YouTube. I mean, e.l.f. gets a lot of buzz these days, NYX, Wet n Wild for their eyeshadows. And then your biggies like L'Oreal, Revlon, Maybelline, I think get talked about a whole bunch just because they're so massive, they're everywhere, and they put out a lot of products. I was on the cusp of mentioning Jordana in this video, but they have put out recently quite a few new things that I haven't gotten to play with just yet, so I thought I'll wait on that and see how many hits and misses are among that group of things. And some things that I think are brands to watch, some brands that I personally want to dive into a little more, and you know, maybe if I do this video again, some of these brands might get mentioned, but Prestige, Palladio, I know there are some hidden gems in those lines that I've tried, but I kind of want to try more from those brands to be able to get a better feel for what's going on. But you know me, I live for the diamond in the rough, drugstore, undiscovered, underrated makeup products, so I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Let me know what you think are the most underrated drugstore makeup brands. I would love to hear in the comments section, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!